Hey everybody, happy Wellness Wednesday. Marco Rodriguez coming at you. So today, oh my gosh, what a great day it's been. And I'm in Long Beach, California, where in just a few days, a group of scientists will be launching one of the greatest scientific discoveries ever known to man. Now, how can I be so bold? Well, because this is the same company or the team of scientists who developed the most potent NRF2 activator on the planet. And this is an extraordinary accomplishment when you consider that Washington State University said that NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Now, these brainiacs have uncovered how to hack into the 3 theories of aging. And in several of their studies, they've even been able to reverse the aging process at the cellular level. Now, how in the world did they do that? Well, first you have to understand what the 3 theories of aging are. First is the theory of oxidative stress, also known as free radicals. Second is the theory of mitochondrial dysfunction. You have to go back to junior high school biology to understand that. And the third theory is the theory of sirtuins. Now, without going into a convoluted discussion on coding and non-coding DNA, enzymes, cofactors, and endoplasmic reticulum, we'll keep it simple. We are made up of over 3 billion cells, and those cells are affected by our environment, the food you eat, the air you breathe, the toxins that we're exposed to. And for example, did you know that the average person is exposed to over 200 toxins every day? That's crazy, and no wonder our bodies are so jacked up, and kids nowadays are getting diseases that were once considered more adult-related. But the good news is that you can do something about it. And one way is through nutrigenomics, which is the science of how dietary components interact with our cells all the way down to our gene expression. And we have between 20 and 25,000 genes, but only 10% of those genes are fixed. That means that 90% of your genes are affected, either up or down regulated, kind of like a dimmer switch, based on the compounds that you put in your body. So for example, we all have inflammatory genes, and those inflammatory genes are necessary to protect you during an injury. But the constant environmental assault and the foods that we consume can turn up those inflammatory genes. Milk's a good example. It makes some people have nasal congestion, which is a type of inflammation. And although you only notice it in your nasal membranes, that inflammation could actually be happening throughout your entire body. On the other hand, there are other natural compounds like turmeric or curcumin that actually turn down the inflammatory genes or the inflammatory response. And inflammation is just one example. The same could be said for cancer, diabetes, Parkinson's. In fact, there are hundreds of health conditions that are affected up or down depending on the compounds that you put in your body. And why is that important to know? Well, it has to do with those 3 theories of aging and how science has now revealed that we have the biotechnology to actually hack into those factors that lead to premature aging and disease. It's actually not that complicated, really. We know that we have over 200 different diseases and other health conditions that are linked to 2 things. That's right, you heard me right, 2 things. High levels of oxidative stress, also known as free radicals, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Those 2 factors greatly impact your body's ability not only to create certain enzymes like SOD, catalase, and glutathione, but it also affects your cell's mitochondria as well as your cell's ability to manufacture what's called nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, also known as NAD. It also ultimately it affects your sirtuins inside your cells, and we know that when those processes are affected inside your cells, all kind of bad things happen. Again, cancer, diabetes, Parkinson's, autism, Alzheimer's, various autoimmune diseases like lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis. But it's also the reason why we also gain weight, why our metabolism slows down, and we have issues with inflammation as we get older. It's also one of the leading causes of the aging process. So at this conference, we will be learning how we can use natural compounds to positively hack into those cellular processes. Also, that's what we call it. Biohacking. How to hack into those processes in order to better upregulate those survival genes. So, stay tuned. Hopefully, in the next couple weeks, I'll be able to give you a little bit more report as far as what we learned this weekend. So, guys, that concludes my interview or my my information for Wednesday. Guys, remember, there is a better way to live.